So, as a continuation to the previous class, the plant kingdom, where the mosses and liverworts, ferns, gymnosperms, and angiosperms. So, among which the mosses and liverworts, which behaves as a barrier in between thallophytes and the pteridophytes and the remaining vascular plants. See, so these mosses and liverworts, they don't have proper root system or stems, and then thin leaves that lose water reproduce by space. Okay, and whereas the pteridophytes have strong stem, roots, leaves, and reproduces by spores. So likewise, the gymnosperms also with naked seeds. Okay, so the evolution of the plants is the what you are observing is evolution of the plants, how they are evolved. So I already told you nearly Bryophyta has 960 genera, and which includes 25,000 of the species. Actually here it is 24, but it is 25 thousands of species are there, and they are grouped into a single phylum, or now grouped in, once they are grouped in a single phylum, now they are grouped in three phyla. They are mosses, bryophyta, liverworts, hepatophyta, and hornworts, anthoceratophyta. And these bryophyta members, they reproduce by means of spores, and they don't have flowers, and due to that character only we used to call them as non-flowering plants or cryptogams. Non-flowering plants or cryptogams. So they are found to grow on the ground, that is a litter formed by the leaves, and on moist rocks, and on other plants, and moist walls in the deep forest or at high altitudes also. We are observing three types of groups here, and they are, the first one is which you are observing in the photo, it is mosses. The second one is the upper one is the hornwort, and the lower one is the liverwort. Sorry, so here, see, here these are the liverworts, and the projecting structures are the gametophores. It may be called as anthridiophore or archegoniophore. And here anthoceratophyta, anthoceras, hornwort, the horn-like structure, the sporophyte emerging out in the form of horns, and this is moss plants which are observed in groups. So normally they are the heteromorphic of alternation of generations. They show the life cycle contains two phases. One is gametophytic phase and second one is sporophytic phase. The gametophytic stage, it is large lasting one, and it is long lived and independent, green in color, and free branched, and they are free branched. See, here you can observe that one. All these are the gametophytic stage. And here in bryophytes, the plant present in gametophytic stage is known to be gametophore. It is called as gametophore. And sporophytic phase, the gametophytic phase is followed by sporophytic phase. The haploid gametes which are formed in the gametophytic generation, they fuse to form a diploid zygote. This diploid zygote, in turn, it develops into spore. The diploid zygote is the first cell of the sporophytic generation. And here, in case of bryophytes, the sporophytic phase is short living and depends on gametophyte, and completely or partially the sporangium develops by embryo on gametophyte. Sporophyte divide into foot, seta and capsule. Foot, seta and capsule. Foot is the dagger shaped structure which is immersed in the gametophyte, and seta is the long stalk like structure, and a bulbous structure at the tip of the stalk is known to be seta, is known to be capsule. All these are the capsules. What you are observing is the capsules. See here the LS of capsule and TS of capsule here. You can notice. So this is the spore. And capsule have sporogenous cell which gives rise to new spores. That is, the capsule has sporogenous mass of tissue, and the cells of this tissue, they develop into spore mother cells. The spore mother cells undergo meiosis and forms the haploid spores. And among these, each spore mother cell undergoes meiosis, forming four haploid spores, among which two are belongs to minus strain and two are belongs to plus strain. After reductional division, haploid spores are formed. All spores are same in shape and size, and spores are non-motile and disseminated by wind. The all spores are same type means it is called homosporous. Homosporous. And the alternation of generations. Alternation of generations means the occurrence of gametophytic generation after sporophytic generation and sporophytic generation after gametophytic generation. They come one after another, and these two are dependent on one another. Without spore formation, we cannot expect the germination of the formation of gametophore. And without gametophore and the formation of gametes and formation of zygote, we cannot expect the formation of the sporophyte. So they are depending in one another, and they are alternating with each other in the life cycle of the bryophyta. Hence, and at the same time, the plant which produces spores or the plant which produces gametes, they are not alike, they are not same. And this type of alternation of generations or this type of life cycle is known to be heteromorphic alternation of generations. Heteromorphic alternations of generations. So actually, heteromorphic alternation of generations. And regarding the reproduction is concerned, the bryophyta, they reproduce by means of the vegetative reproduction, asexual and sexual. The vegetative reproduction is by means of tubers, primary protonema and bulbils and gemma and so on. And asexual reproduction by means of spores. It is by means of spores. And sexual reproduction by means of the gametes. By means of gametes. And on the other hand, if you observe the internal character of the leaves or branches or stem, so actually they regarding the reproduction of different species. See here you are observing the sporophytic phase and this is the spore producing area, that is called a capsule, that is known to be capsule. And mosses, see, you may observe this type of the group of plants near the water tanks and some of the lakes and the moist places. You can observe the cushion type of bedding with green color bedding, and that is the group of number of plants which are called mosses, that belongs to the bryophyta members. The liverworts, they appear like this. They are the mosses, and these are the liverworts. The example is Markantia. The leaves are dichotomously branching, and these are the reproductive organs of Markantia. This is Archegoniophore. So actually the stalk of the this part of the plant is known to be Archegoniophore, and it is called the archegonium. They are invertedly present in the umbrella like structure, and this is the male reproductive organ, and the stalk is known to be antheridophore, and the antheridia are present here. And apart from that, on the dorsal surface of the Markantia thallus, you may notice the presence of small cup-like structures which are called gemma cups. See, the liverworts, Markantia is the best the example for liverworts, and these are the hornworts and phylum Anthocerophyta, and they are also known to be hornworts because the sporophyte of this category plants, bryophytes, it projected out from the thallus in the form of a horn. Hence, they are known to be hornworts. And actually, the antheridia and archegonia are sunken in dorsal surface of the body. In case of Anthoceratophyta, the reproductive organs, say the male and female reproductive organs, antheridium and archegonia, they are sunken in the dorsal surface of the plant body, and the sporophyte is photosynthetic and provide energy needed for the growth and development. Okay. See, here you are. See, gametophytic the gametophytic form of bryophytes. In primitive forms like Rexia and Markantia, gametophyte is undifferentiated, prostrate and thalloid. And here also you are observing the undifferentiated plant body called as thallus. So that's why in primitive plants like Rexia and Markantia, primitive bryophytes like Rexia and Markantia, the body is thalloid and prostrate. It is dorsiventral, and it is oppressed to the substratum or the soil. In advanced forms, that is mosses, plant body is erect, differentiated into stem and lateral appendages, that is called leaf-like structures, which may be called as the root-like structures are called rhizoids, and stem-like structure is called colloid, and the leaf-like structures are called phylloids. And here true roots are absent, they are called rhizoids, and these rhizoids helps in anchorage and absorption. The rhizoids, they helps in the anchorage, they provide mechanical strength to the plant, and at the same time they absorb water and minerals from the soil or the substratum. And these rhizoids may be unicellular or multicellular, and they may be branched or unbranched. Sometimes In between these intermixing with these rhizoids, you may notice the presence of scales. You may notice the presence of scales on the dorsal, on the ventral surface of the plant body. And the type of rhizoids also, you may be observed two types: smooth walled rhizoids and tuberculated or rough walled rhizoids. And these scales, so actually rhizoids, they fix the plant in the soil and provides and supplies water and minerals. But what is the purpose of and what is the benefit of the presence of scales? Scales helps in the maintenance of the water, and they also protect the growing point of the thallus. Especially the growing points are present at the tip, which are covered by the scale leaves. And plant body consists of parenchymatous cells. The total plant body is, in nearly the major percentage of the plant body is made up of parenchymatous cells only, and thick walled and lignified cells are completely absent in the all phases. Vascular tissues are completely absent, but sometimes in higher plants like mosses, the hydroids and leptoids are present. Hydroids and leptoids are the special type of cells which conduct water and food respectively. And plant body, not in sometimes, in majority of the cases, it is internally it is differentiated into, for example, in case of Markantia and in case of Anthoceras, the internal structure is divisible into photosynthetic zone and storage zone. Photosynthetic zone and storage zone. So already told you the transporting tissues are absent, that is complex tissues. And reproduction. See, the reproductive methods in bryophytes may be vegetative, already told you, vegetative, and asexual and sexual. These asexual and sexual, they alternate with each other. And regarding the vegetative reproduction is concerned, the vegetative reproduction may be done by means of the death and decaying of the older parts, the fragmentation of thallus, adventitious branches, and tuber formation, and production of gemme on gemme cups. Here in picture you are observing, these are the gemme cups. So which are the here, they are the gemme cups, and in the lower one the LS of the gemme cup, where you are observing the gemme. And sexual reproduction, it is oogamous type. Sexual reproduction is oogamous type. That means oogamy means a small motile male gamete fuses with large stagnant female gamete. It is called oogamous type. And here sex organs are multicellular and they are enveloped by a sterile jacket layer. They are enveloped by a sterile jacket layer. And the reproductive organs are more complex than in thallophytes, say algae, fungi, and lichens. And male sex organs are called antheridia, and antheridia are stalked and globose structures. They are club shaped structures. They have one cell thick sterile jacket around it for the purpose of protection. And jacket surrounds a solid mass of fertile cells called androcytes. They are called as androcytes. The male fertile cells present in the antheridium is called as androcytes. And androcytes metamorphose into antherozoids. Androcytes, they are, that means the antheridium consists of a mass of sporogenous tissue, and this sporogenous tissue undergoes divisions, forming the androcytes. They metamorphose into androcytes, and each androcyte divides into antherozoids, which are motile and which are male gametes. And the each antherozoid is a biflagellate, and thus they are mobile and can swim in water. And female sex organs are called archegonia. Archegonium is a flask-shaped structure. Archegonia have basal swollen venter and an elongated upper part called neck. Okay, that means an individual archegonium contains the upper part, that is the lid, and the neck, long neck, and broad venter. The venter and neck are surrounded by one layer thick sterile jacket cells. 4 to 6 neck canal cells and 1 venter canal cell is present. That means neck contains 4 to 6 neck canal cells NCC, and venter contains only 1 venter canal cell. So water is necessary for the fertilization. When Antheridia matures, their sterile jacket disintegrate and liberate the motile antherozoids to the surrounding, and where the water is present in the thin film like area. When the archegonia matures, the neck canal cells rupture open and a channel will be formed, and which oozes out a sugary mass, a chemical substance is oozed out, and due by attracting towards this mucilaginous substance, the antherozoids or the male gametes, they swim towards the archegonium, and they enter into the archegonium. They are in the venter canal cell, and then egg is present, and they fuses with the egg and forming zygote. This zygote, now it is diploid in condition, and this zygote undergoes further divisions of forming embryo, and this embryo develops into a sporophyte there itself on the gametophore itself. The sporophyte develop from embryo. Zygote is the first stage or the first cell in the diploid sporophytic generation. Zygote does not have any resting period. Zygote mitotically divide immediately after fertilization. Bryophytes show exoscopic mode of embryo development. First division of zygote is always transfers to produce two cells, outer cell and inner cell. Outer cell give rise to embryo. Embryo develops within the venter of the archegonium. Sporophyte is simple structure without rhizoids, stem or leaves. Sporophyte is more or less completely depends on the gametophyte for its nourishment. Sporophyte is projecting structure in most of the forms. It projects out from the gametophytic tissue. Sporophyte is differentiated into the foot seta, the basal foot, middle seta, and the upper capsule. Foot is immersed in the gametophytic plant body. Seta is the long stalk-like structure, and capsule is the fertile one which produces the spores. And spore contains the sporangium, or the capsule contains the capsule. In other words, we can say it is a sporangium which contains the spore sacs, and in turn these spore sacs contain sporogenous tissue which in turn develops into spore mother cells. Each spore mother cell undergoes reduction division or meiosis to form haploid spores. So apart from the spores, the sporangium may also have the elaters, the pseudo, that is called the sterile small, the spiral shaped structures known to be the elaters. And these elaters are hygroscopic in nature. They respond to humidity in the nature, and they helps in the rupture of the sporangial wall and helps in the dissemination of the spores. The lower forms, the germination in lower forms, the germination of spores is by the formation of a germ tube, which later divides to give rise to the younger gametophyte Rexia and Marchantia. And whereas in case of advanced forms like mosses, spores germinates to form a filamentous branched structure known to be protonema, and these protonema may many gametophytic plants arises, and these protonema produces two types of rhizoids, actually two types of branches. The aerial branches are green in color, they are known to be chloronemal branches, and some of the branches they are underground, they are known to be rhizoidal branches. Whenever these rhizoidal branches also exposed to sunlight, they turn green in color. The life cycle of Bryophyta is characterized by the alternation of two morphologically unidentical phases or distinct phases. One phase is haploid gametophore, other phase is diploid sporophyte. Gametophytic phase is independent, autotrophic, haploid, and bears gametes. It develops from spores produced by sporophyte. Male and female gametes represent the last phase of the gametophyte generation, and haploid male and female gametes fuse to form a diploid zygote. A diploid zygote, and zygote represent the first phase of the sporophytic generation. Sporophyte is simple, completely dependent on the gametophyte for its nourishment. Sporogenous tissue is the sporophyte divide meiotically to produce haploid spores. So the bacteria, the bryophytes show very less economic importance. Let us discuss about it in the last at the time of finishing of the bryophytes. So key questions of these bryophyte characters is: what is bryophytes and what are bryophytes? What are the characteristics of bryophytes? Explain the life cycle of bryophytes. Explain the reproduction in bryophytes. Explain the structure of antheridium and archegonium in bryophytes. Okay. So these are the some of important questions. So let me share this once again. You can ask me the questions.